Oh man, I know I'm gonna have some FOMO, but I'm actually very, very excited. I'm gonna be in Arizona for my sissy's birthday. But also the nonprofit, I've probably made a video a time or two about them. But yeah, we've got a we've got a gang. We've got a gang of women hiking all over. What started out in kind of like the Southwest has expanded. There's been a lot of other medical mamas that have hosted other retreats. Lynn's did one. That's the one I missed. Man, I really want to go to the Smokies. And then Emma has hosted, I feel like she's hosted twice, maybe even 3 times now. She's done the Hocking Hills. I mean, I'd love to, I guess, hike in the Midwest. I don't really have a lot of Midwest hikes on my bucket list, but that one looked really gorgeous as well. So either way, their retreats, we are all mamas that have been impacted by medical complexities. Our kids have seizures. Most of us and most of our kids have other diagnoses. So a lot of the other mamas, their kiddos also have CP like mine. Some of the mamas, a lot of the kiddos have cortical vision impairment. It's a neurological eye or vision disorder. So either way, they're going to be in Sedona. I think most of these women are returners. I don't know if, I think they're separate retreats for all, like the new ones, the new mamas. But Sedona, I mean, I grew up in Arizona, so I've spent a lot of time in Sedona. Sedona is so nice. But I'm going to a speech conference. And the timing, it overlapped. So I had missed a speech conference. I think it was at the tail end of 2025. But just a lot of things came up, and that wasn't in the budget, or the just, I feel like there was, I don't know, a work thing or something, or might have been like a legal or court thing. But here's what's super exciting. Oh, I gotta pay for my headshots. Is the SLP conference has so many. The lineup of speakers is so fantastic. I think that part's a little bit overwhelming, because I don't want this to be a completely overwhelming trip due to the timeline of it. Yeah, it's been kind of a rough week, but we're doing all right. We're doing some really exciting things with Kaylin's AAC. So again, perfect timing for this conference of like, I finally feel like I'm not playing catch up on her device, if that makes sense. So we just made some decisions on her kind of get ready with me process, how that looks in her device, the apps that we're using. We're just kind of connecting some of the dots on the technology side. And yeah, I feel like I really tried to make it work with her AAC, but limitations of software, right? So that's going to be okay. We're just kind of switching gears, pivoting. But I do want to speak about this conference, because if there are other mamas that want me to specifically, I don't know, listen or pay attention, especially if your kiddo, I mean, their language doesn't necessarily have to look like mine. Kaylin is a Gestalt language processor, and I think one of the things that has been really frustrating, and I don't know, I mean, I know I'm not the only one impacted, and I know I'm not the only one that has certain feelings, but man, let me tell you what it felt like when I learned that the type of language and the way that it works is different for my child, and there's a name for it. And we went years with no one knowing what is that called. And so usually what that means when you're working with professionals, and I certainly want to respect a level of education. You know, I'm a mom. I'm an expert in my kid. I'm an expert in the way that she communicates because she uses her body, she uses gestures, she sings. There are just so many things that make her communication very, very unique. And so then you learn, and it's like, okay, man, how frustrating that I didn't learn about this until my kid was in middle school. And it made so much sense. It helped me so much being able to Google exactly what it is. And I think the only other thing that has felt even remotely similar is being undiagnosed and then being diagnosed, is having a name to it, right? It took a long time for us to get answers on the genetic side, just testing and time, and we finally got the whole genome covered by insurance, and it wasn't something that I could afford out of pocket. So like we had to wait. We had to play the insurance game. We had to play the game of like, all right, when are they going to approve this? So I felt like we just waited for a really long time for a handful of her diagnoses. And we're talking about into our teenage years. I mean, thankfully I learned very, very soon on that I can trust my intuition. I can trust my gut. I can try different interventions, whether we have a formal diagnosis or not. Like, we had a really good team. So I got rid of the people that weren't on board with what we were looking into, and you know what felt like wanting to label my kid for so many years. So with all of that context, then you add in a decade later, they're trying to undo it. They're trying to discredit the type of learners that we have, the type of communication that's considered valid and accepted. And all the while, they're already saying horrific things about the children that are nonverbal. These are the ones they want to institutionalize. So yeah, I'm going to have some feelings. I'm going to have some feelings about what everybody is saying about folks that communicate a little bit differently. And I had to go through a process just to get them to take off nonverbal from medical records. And it mattered. It mattered. I remember, I know what it feels like every time I have to talk about my daughter, and I'm like, the paperwork doesn't match the child. The paperwork doesn't match the child. And I get it. A lot of people don't understand her. Most people don't. Because we don't have enough education and support on the AAC side, the technology side, but also I think we just need to redefine like what language is, and stop going back and forth. Like, this is so frustrating for families like mine that it waited so long for someone to catch up with the way that these kids are learning, the way that these kids are processing language. And it might not sound like the way that I form a sentence. So, either way, just growing frustration in the speech professional side of things. And I was like, you know what? What better way to be less frustrated by all of it than to go to a conference that has a lot of professionals that I feel are, I don't know, leading the way, that really understand learners like my daughter, communicators like my daughter. And this is going to be primarily therapists, right? So no, I'm not going for, I don't want to connect with a bunch of professionals, but I mean, sometimes I do. Oftentimes SLPs are moms. I've met a lot of them. I've met a lot of people. So I am excited to, I guess I'm nervous about the connecting piece, but, I'm really just excited to be around professionals for consecutive days that aren't going to tell me that my daughter's communication is not enough or it's not valid. Because it is. I can see it. And she's surrounded by people at high school that she's frustrated by. So we've got a lot of work to do. My dog is sitting like a little hussy. Keep your legs closed, you nasty little girl. She's a nasty girl. Poppy is. Anyways, so I'm going to share more. It'll probably be information overload, but I want to share where I'm going. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to and then I can give my 2 cents to Denise, who needs to hire a speech therapist. I'm leaning towards like a feeding therapist, just because I know a lot of families need that type of treatment option at an intensive. So that's the other thing is, I get to weigh in and it helps that it's Arizona. It helps that it's Arizona. It'll be good to see my dad. It'll be good to celebrate my sister's birthday. She's not really wanting to make a big deal about it, but, and I get that. I get not wanting to, sometimes the aging process just sucks. And I feel like she's kind of had a rough year too. Medical stuff and getting older and all the things. So, and her baby's going to be graduating kindergarten. Woo, man. So stay tuned. Desert Days. I want to share. Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just excited about. I think the reality of my life is, while other people are following or fangirling out over famous people, mine are medical professionals, are people that work and support the disabled community in some form or another. Yeah. Just a different life, I guess. Never really thought about that as much, but I'm gonna miss some of the mamas in Sedona. It's a good place to hike. It's a good place to heal. So hope everyone that has booked everything. People are probably going to be saying bye to their babies in the next couple days. We're all going to be heading to Arizona. So, timing-wise, I might be able to meet up before they all head up to Sedona. I'm not sure. But Desert Days, I'm coming for you. I'm excited. I've got to, I don't know, pack an appropriate outfit for. They have like a themed party, like a Western. Kaylin probably has more stuff that would work for that type of party than I do. But I also got to find my boots. I thought they were in Arizona. They are not. So wish me luck. Oh, this is what I wanted to look up. Let me just look it up now. Oh, desert days. Down. Oh, here we go. I don't know if I'm saying this Bjorum. Bjorum. If you've never stayed at the Marriott, it's really pretty. Very, just makes the desert landscaping feel pretty dreamy. Let's see. Oh, she's like a publication company. I thought she was just a speech therapist. Okay. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. 4 days, 12 speakers. Whew, jam-packed. I can tell you top high level, the gals that, oh, yeah. Alex Zachos, if I'm saying that correctly, Zachos, yeah. She is my number one. Who is the other one? I might have to look at their profiles to be able to tell you. Ooh, I'm actually really excited. Dr. Jasmine Simmons is an audiologist, and I find her fascinating, but also Brendan has recently got diagnosed with, tinnitus, so some hearing loss. So we're kind of looking at stuff like that, and oh, I follow both of these. So husband and wife duo. I feel like in the autism community, these folks are very, very, very well known. Jesse and Chris. Ooh, power couple. I was like, oh, I know her Instagram handle. She's the sensory SLP. So they're doing a breakout session on, like, they're the sensory specialists. So I'm very interested in theirs. Again, I'm going to double check. There are a few sessions that are on my tentative, but if I can, attend them, I will. The other one that I'm really, really interested in is the feeding and swallowing specialist. And her name is Dawn. And that's in her Instagram handle. That's how I know her. Oh, Winkleman. Okay. Zachos. So Alex Zachos is, I would say, probably one of my favorite SLP accounts to follow, specifically for Gestalt language processors. She's got a lot of really great resources. Some are free. I've paid for some, and they've always been well worth it. So either she is a master at templates and cranking out some downloadable, like, resources, but her stuff is fantastic. And that is Alex Zachos, and she